Thomas, bit of a travel day here and a quick skate as you get ready for the second half of this road trip. A couple of games here in Rockford, one against Milwaukee. But we'll start with Texas. A couple of games down the Lone Star State. How'd you feel about the team's play through that split?
Yeah, no, I thought we played great as a team, and I think we might have deserved even more than just the one win there. But I think that really just speaks to our character of never being out of the fight, and I think that was obviously huge for our team. Getting the end of that series there, and ending off on a good note and bringing that here to Rockford.
Yeah, how frustrating was it maybe to go through those 4 games against Texas and maybe play some of those games that you thought you maybe deserved better and to not get those results? And I know that's kind of happened a couple of times early on, but then to finally get that result in that last game.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, as a team and individually as well. But I think the biggest thing that we just kept mentioning as a team, and I was telling myself as well, is just keep sticking with it, because bounces are bound to go your way eventually, and you're going to run into some hog goalies every once in a while, but if you just keep getting pucks to net and crashing there, then things are going to work out.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of goals available either way throughout that entire set. What was it like going back and forth there with Remy Poirier throughout the games that you're in?
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun. Those are kind of similar to the Tucson games prior to that. Those are the best games to play in, when you have a good goalie battle going, and it's obviously always fun to end up on the right side of that.
Yeah, for yourself, you get the starts on back-to-back days there. What's your approach going into that second game when you don't have that rest behind you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the hardest thing ever, but I think just being able to do whatever you can the night prior, after that first game, to recover and really just focus on your sleep and do everything you can to set yourself up for success, because the 24 hours goes by quick, and if you can do whatever you can to get off on the right foot, it helps out a lot.
You've had an opportunity to get into the net a lot over the last little bit. How are you feeling about your game?
Yeah, it feels really good right now. I'm excited to keep on playing as much as I can, and Dom's been playing great as well, so we're just going on as a team here and enjoying it.
And what's it been like for you two to work together over these past couple of seasons now, I guess, getting into your second season working together and kind of being that battery for the Moose?
Yeah, no, we love it. Dom and I, we're best friends on the team and love hanging out with him. And I think just that competitive, healthy competition that we have between us is awesome. We're always supporting each other, but in practice and everything, we're battling like there's no tomorrow. So it's always a lot of fun getting to battle with him and cheer him on when he's in the net as well.
Yeah, how valuable is that competition to push both of you to be as good as you can be?
Oh, it's huge, because we know starts are hard to come by, so we're doing whatever we can to get in the net and get that edge on each other, but like I said, also supporting each other every single night. So I think it's a great thing we have going between us.
And as it comes to you two kind of building that relationship, I mean, both of you spent time in Norfolk, things like that. Are you able to kind of, through that kind of that shared experience, bring you closer as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so far in our careers we've had pretty similar paths up to this point. Both CHL guys, and then obviously spending some time with the Moose, with Norfolk, and then finding our way back here. So I think just having a lot of relatability between us, and also similar in age and all that, it really just helps out having a guy that you can relate to with whatever problems you have, and share all the successes together.
Well, you're staring down a couple of games, as mentioned, against the Ice Hogs on either side of the Milwaukee Admirals. Haven't seen these two teams yet. How much are you looking forward to seeing someone other than the Texas Stars here?
Oh, man, yeah. No, it will be nice. But I think it's always fun playing, new teams for the first time each season. And, we look forward to that a lot. And, new cities as well on the road. So it's going to be a fun time.